Hey girl, welcome to Front Porch Friday. Well, today it's all about marriage, okay? Because two of you sent me the very same question. You asked me what would be your best advice to young couples or to those starting out. And those two who asked that question are both going to receive my little 3 CD set. We have a latte in common. It's my teaching series all about friendship. And the winners this week of our Ask Laurie Q&A and giveaway are Sherry Stanfield, a pastor's wife from East Texas that I love, and then Anonymous, okay? And we will get in touch with both of you girls, get your mailing address. Thanks for sending in a great question. Well, let me just give you my top 5 plus 1, okay? My top 5 plus 1. My top tips for young and not so young marrieds. Number 1, I would say this: you need to grow together spiritually, okay? You need to grow together. You need to grow as you grow in your walk with the Lord individually. Listen, it's going to grow you together as a couple. So grow spiritually and grow together spiritually. And I think one of the best ways you can do this, of course, is by praying or studying God's Word together or just going to church together. Girl, you need to get connected to a great church, to a great small group with couples your same age who maybe are led by an older couple who have some years under their belt of being married, and they can help you understand what it means to be married, and they can encourage you through the rough times. And so I would encourage you got to grow together spiritually. Are you involved in a church, in a couples class, in a small group? You need to be, okay? You need that encouragement more than ever in your marriage. You need to be involved in some type of a couples group where couples are learning what God's Word says about marriage and how to relate to one another, especially when you're young married. Secondly, I would say affirm and appreciate your mate, okay? Learn to affirm and appreciate your mate. You need to learn to praise them, okay, and thank them and not take them for granted and compliment them. You need to notice and affirm their positive attributes, their strengths, and the things they do that are that you notice and you admire, okay? And you never get too old to quit doing this. We all need this. You know, the other day Bill went to the grocery store with me. He doesn't usually go with me, but he did, and he pushed the heavy basket, and he unloaded the groceries onto the belt, and he put them in the basket, and he put them in the car, and he carried them in, and oh, it was wonderful. And I just said, thank you, thank you, thank you. Listen, he needed to know that I appreciated him. He didn't enjoy going to the grocery store, but he did it for me. And listen, we've been married 34 years this very week, and those are the kind of things I still appreciate, and I want to thank him for those kinds of things. Tell your husband about the good things that he does that you notice in him, and if he has sexy legs like my husband does, tell him how pretty his legs are, okay? Compliment him on his physical attributes and his characteristics that you admire. Number 3, help and serve one another with a sweet spirit, okay? Help your husband, and husband, help your wife. My grandmother many years ago came to visit our house, and I'll never forget when my husband came in around 5:30 or 6 from work. She jumped up off that couch and she went in the kitchen and she fixed him a glass of iced tea, and she said, Bill, go sit down. Here's your glass of tea. You've been working hard all day. And I thought, don't spoil him like that. But you know what? She taught me something that day. And I try to, from time to time, when my husband's tired of things, to bring him his dinner, let him eat it in his recliner. We're old now, we can do that. Or to bring him a cold glass of water when he's out on the lawnmower and he's working hard in the yard. Be sweet. Help one another. When Bill cleans out the garage, one of his dreaded tasks, I try to be out there at his side, because I don't enjoy cleaning the garage either, but I want to help my husband, okay? And you know what? He helps me. He helps me as well. And so help one another and have a sweet spirit about doing that. Number 4, learn to communicate effectively, especially in conflict, okay? Learn to communicate effectively, especially in conflict. I used to, many years ago, I would give him the silent treatment. I just wanted it to pass. I just wanted to pretend it didn't happen. I just wanted to stuff it, but I also kind of wanted to punish him. And so I would just be silent. And so immature, I'm embarrassed to even tell you that. But you know, through the years, the Lord has taught me that there's a way to communicate, even in conflict, that can build your marriage, that can bring you closer together. So learn to communicate effectively and learn to forgive, okay, through conflict. Number 5, Practice the love covers a multitude principle. And that's from 1 Peter 4:8, where Peter says, above all, keep fervent in your love for one another, because love covers a multitude of sins. You know, it's easy to focus, it's easy to fixate on all the little things that drive you crazy about your partner. It really is. But listen, in those little things, oh, he leaves his clothes on the ground or whatever, you know, those kinds of things, and some men never learn about that. He leaves the seat up, all that. Listen, if he's never going to learn, choose not to fixate on that stuff, girl, okay? It's not going to help him. It's not going to help you in your relationship. Instead, practice that love covers a multitude of sins, and pray that he will do the same thing, because I guarantee there are things that you do that drive him crazy. Practice love covers a multitude. And I'm going to throw in one more, number 6, okay? Learn the leave and cleave, okay? The leave and cleave is talked about in Genesis chapter 2, verse 24, where it says there that the man and the woman, they're to leave their father and their mother and to cleave to one another. The two are going to become one. I think in this generation especially, people are waiting longer to get married. They've been independent, they've been on their own, they've been single, they've been cultivating friendships and things like that. Maybe they've left their parents, but they've been developing this independent lifestyle. Listen, when you get married, you need to learn to leave and cleave. Leave that lifestyle. Not that you have to leave all those friends behind and stuff, but listen, your relationship with your husband, your relationship with your wife has to be preeminent, your preeminent relationship here on earth. And that means that friends are going to be down the list, okay? That parents are going to be down the list, that you've got to focus on your relationship with your husband and husbands with your wife. So learn to leave and cleave, and I'm not saying it's easy. And here's what I also want to say. Listen, I've been married 34 years this week, and you know what? I love my husband and he loves me. But it is still work being married. It always will. It'll always be work being married, but it is worth it. So I just pray these little top 5 plus 1 have encouraged some of you young marrieds, and maybe some of you not so young marrieds. You got a question for me? I'd love to hear it. Just post it here on the blog, or you can email me at priority@priorityministries.com, or you can post it on Facebook. Thanks so much for sitting on the porch with me, and thanks for these great questions that y'all are sending me. I look forward to visiting with you in the weeks to come. Thanks for sitting with me on the porch here on Front Porch Friday. Bye, girl.